What does change mean to you? What kind of changes have made you who you are now? How has change affected your life? There are changes happening every day in every person's life. Whether you notice it or not, there's change happening right now. Think about the person you were 10 years ago. Are you that same person? Are your values and responsibilities different? Are your perspectives on life different? We encounter changes every day. We change our clothes, students change their majors, we change our routines and habits. Over time, we all change, sometimes without even realizing it. The days change every 24 hours, the months change every 30 days. And over the years, we all change too. This changes our opinions on things and the decisions that we make. Some opinions may be positive, others might be negative. I think we should all focus on the positive changes in life because it motivates and makes us happier. Let me tell you a story of how focusing on positive change made me happier and motivated me to achieve my goals. I was 6 years old when my family decided to move to Canada in the summer of 2008. That summer was one of the most difficult times I had ever experienced, which I believe made who I am today. At the beginning, I didn't know why I moved to Canada. I didn't see the benefits, or even just a reason to leave China. I had a stable life there, and even though I was very young, I had an understanding of who I was in China. I had just completed kindergarten and was on my way to go to elementary school. I had gotten used to school routines and how to be a good Chinese student. I also made good connections with my friends and neighbors. I had adapted to my environment. However, during that summer, my family suddenly told me that we were gonna go to a different country. At that time, I'm not even sure if I knew other countries existed. All I know was that my parents were telling me that our lives was gonna change for the better. It wasn't my decision. It wasn't something that I could change. When I arrived in Vancouver, I immediately noticed the difference between China and Canada. Everything was in English, such as the signs on the airport, the words on the books. More noticeably, everyone around me was speaking English. I had no clue what they were saying. I felt like I didn't belong here. After a few weeks of settling into my new environment, school had begun. I remember feeling nervous for my first day of school in Canada. The school was so much bigger than my previous kindergarten, and I was nervous and wasn't able to communicate with others. I was anxious for my language barrier, and even though I couldn't communicate with others, I wanted to talk to them. I felt lonely and out of place, like a fish out of water. I soon learned that I needed to adjust to my hardships and the new society I'm living in order to feel comfortable again. Eventually, as I learned English, I became more comfortable in myself. I had adapted to one of the biggest challenges in my life. After reflecting on my past, I chose to focus on the positives of moving to Canada and how that gave me a new opportunity for me to learn new things and grow. This change and the adjustments I went through led me to understand why the change to Canada was needed. I'm grateful for the life I have now and the future opportunities I will have because of living in this country. I want to suggest to you that who you are today is a result of the changes that you made in the past. Who you are tomorrow are going to be the result of the changes that you make today. Think about the person you want to be in 10 years. Think about where you want to be and what you want to do. If there's one thing you take away from my presentation, is that there are changes all around us. Every second, every moment. Some are negative, some are positive. I want to encourage you to focus on the positive changes in life rather than the negative ones. Because that made me thrive in Canada, and I am positive this idea will help you live a happier life.